do 1 pound of chocolate in your bowl and 4 ounces of chocolate on the side. So your ratio of melted chocolate to seed chocolate is 1 to 4. So you always want to remove or take a quarter of what that weight is. So 1 pound in here, 4 ounces in here. If you were doing 2 pounds, then you would do 8 ounces of seed. Okay? So what did I say? Chocolate, sandy bucket with a rag so that you can clean as you go. Thermometer, rubber spatula, and paper towels next to you. And a garbage can either near you or a bain-marie or something that you can throw your garbage into. All right? I just have some notes here that I want to make sure that I touch on you guys. Okay, so procedure. You're going to take your 1 pound of chocolate. You're going to bring it to, and this is for dark chocolate. Your numbers are going to change for milk and white. Okay? So I'm going to start with dark because it is much easier to work with than your milk chocolate and your white chocolate. Okay? So suspend questions about milk and white until we're done with the dark chocolate demo. Okay? So you're going to bring your dark chocolate to 122 degrees. If it goes above 122, you are running the risk of compromising the flavors in your chocolate. So all the organic flavors of where your chocolate originates from. The higher your temperature goes, the more your the flavors aren't as pure. You will burn your chocolate at some point. So it depends on the percentage, depends on how much sugar is in it. So it really depends on the brand. I wouldn't exceed 160.
Does it, all those factors, does the cacao is sourced and what type of cacao bean also for the temperature?
Yep.
No, for the temperature that because you said 122.
Yeah. So 122 is a good guideline.
Oh, okay.
It starts to almost get grainy at higher temperatures. So a lot of these, that's actually a really good question. These temperatures that I'm giving you, they're not
Stone? Oh, rocks?
Yeah, right. They're not on They're not on rocks. I don't want to say that they're not hard numbers because it's kind of one of those if I give you an inch, you're going to take a mile. If I tell you that your max working temp is 90 degrees, that doesn't mean 94 degrees. Depending on where your chocolate is harvested, there's a lot of different stuff that goes into what your temperatures are, and your bag, your brand is going to tell you that. So companies they have chefs on staff that test their products and come up with these numbers. The numbers that I'm giving you are accepted numbers in the industry of where to start. So on the exam, the numbers that I'm giving you are the numbers I want. Okay? If you got a different brand and you wanted to check what the fluidity is or all those different numbers, it's going to say it on the bag. For example, on the side of this bag, it gives you the recommended tempering curve. So if you're not sure, just double check on the brand. So this we will talk about later because this is not dark chocolate. So this is going so exact that it's giving you decimals in temperatures.
Okay.
I'm not going to be that neurotic. I'm not going to ask you for decimals. All right. This is saying 89.6. To me, that means 90 degrees. So are they hard numbers? Yes and no.
We're going up. We're not going down. It's better to go round up.
Round up depending on what the decimal is. If it's above 5, round up. If it's below 5,
so we're doing
round down.
that not okay.
Okay, so so your procedure for dark chocolate, this is called the tempering curve. So this is a curve of what temperatures you're going to go up to, then down to, and then back up. So You're gonna go up to 122. Do not exceed 122. If you exceed 122, call me over so I can check to make sure you're not greeny, and then we'll proceed from there, okay? So goal is 122. Then we're going to add our seed chocolate to bring it down to 81. And then we're gonna put it back on the double boiler up to 90.
So 122, and then
Down to 81,
81, and then
up to 90. So that's your curve. Once you get to 90, and we are testing as we go to make sure that we are in temper, okay? Temper and temperature are different, okay? So right now I'm giving you the temperatures that you need to go up, down, then back up. Temper means what it looks like. That means that you have worked with stabilizing your crystals in your cocoa butter so that they are giving you snap, shine, and extended shelf life. So 3 S's, snap, shine, shelf life. Okay, those are the 3 purposes of tempering your chocolate. You guys have all seen chocolate that has that white coating on the outside? That's called bloom. That means that your chocolate is not in temper. So what that means to me when I look at it is I see fat, I see cocoa butter. So that means that it either wasn't worked with properly or it wasn't stored properly. Those 2 things will make your fat migrate out to the outside and your shelf life is compromised. Okay, so it's all about extending your shelf life, giving it a nice shine or like appeal to the eye. And the sound that it makes when you bite into chocolate, you don't want it to be like soft, right? Like you don't, when you have a confection or like a truffle, you don't want the entire thing to just be like a ganache. You want that hard coating on the outside that snaps when you bite into it. So I'm gonna show you all that on this, okay? So we're going to bring this up to 122. So double boiler, you want to bring your water is halfway up your pot. You never want the bottom of your bowl to touch the water. Ever, 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 ever with chocolate. Ever. The number 1 enemy of chocolate is moisture. So that's why all of this chocolate will be setting at room temperature. Okay, never the fridge. Ever. Because what does the fridge have? Moisture.
moist. I just love saying moist. That's how I call it.
Nasty word.
Oysters, I don't call it oyster, I call it moistures.
Moistures, that's funny.
Because they're gross.
They are not.
I hate
You don't like oysters?
I love it.
I love oysters.
I feel like I'm swallowing gum, and my mom taught me that you should never swallow gum.
No, but the flavor
My mom created this.
I know you said don't
refreshing.
drink white chocolate and milk chocolate, but the temperatures
And
are
sweet.
the same. No? So like you shouldn't go up to.
Nope, don't even go there yet.
Okay.
You're gonna confuse everyone. If you guys are looking for, I mean, you might find that you don't like working with chocolate, and that's okay. I'm not offended at all. But, you know, and I think that I mentioned this in Charts and Torts and the other classes you guys had with me, you're gonna find throughout the program that some things you really like and some things you don't. Sometimes I have students that
Piping.
they get through breads class and they're like, oh chef, I really like breads, I really want to do breads. And then they get to the chocolate class and they're like, wait a minute, my world is flipped upside down. Like, chocolate works really, really well for me. Crispin actually shocked me in his chocolates class. He was like the chocolate whisperer in his class. It was like it just worked with him. So, you know, if you're not a chocolate person, that's okay. But the best advice that I could offer you is, even if you don't like what you're doing, just do it. Don't get frustrated with your chocolate. The more frustrated you get, it's not gonna work for you. It's like a dog. It can sense fear and aggression. So you just calm. Chocolate is all about calm. You gotta be calm. Think peaceful, nice thoughts. If you're agitated, your chocolate will be agitated. All right. Yeah, you do. I mean, it sounds crazy, but the best piece of advice I ever could have received when I was applying to culinary schools, Duff Goldman had actually come to my college, not for cake decorating. His band came, and I was the only person that went to the concert. And I staked out in the student center all day, just so that I could have a chance to talk to him. And when I told him that I was going to be graduating with my bachelor's and then going to culinary school, and what was the best piece of advice he could give me, he said, dance with the dough. Dance with the dough. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? He was like, listen, your instructors are going to be crazy. They're going to tell you crazy things. Just go with it. It's not going to make sense to you until you take the class or until you graduate or until you get out into the industry. It's not going to make sense. And then one day you're going to be like, oh, I get it. You know, a lot of this is kind of overall picture, and then eventually it'll kind of all come together. So you got to dance with your dough, you know, become one with your chocolate.